was a time when women at the age of 40 would disappear into a world of child-rearing and domestic anonymity. When 40 frankly meant you were either past it, either condemned to full-time motherhood, or derided as a tragic spinster. Well, with the Duchess of Cambridge hitting the big 4-0 this weekend, she's never been more prominent. Either doting mother or professional glad-hander and ribbon cutter, or, according to the commemorative photographs right there, resurrected Victorian ghost. Kate has been filling our feeds a lot lately, making a lot of people reassess the expectations placed on women turning 40. Now, someone who has reached this milestone is psychologist and TV presenter Emma Kenny, and she joins us now. Emma, fantastic to have you back. Do you think 40 has changed over the years? Is 40 the new 30 and all of those cliches?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, when my gran was 40, she had, Dame Edna Everage glasses and wore the same clothes as she did when she was 90, because women definitely were kind of put in the background after having children, and particularly because women didn't have careers as we do now. And also, I think there were a lot more limitations placed on women per se. As we've reached a much more progressive society and equal society, still work to do, but definitely way better. It's meant that women have felt that they've got choices. They can have children and careers, stay married, not be married. There's a lot more option based. And with that, I think that what we've seen is women not clinging on, because I think that there's an idea that women who are getting older are trying to cling on to youth. That's not true. And scientifically, that isn't true. So there's quite an amazing amount of research now that shows us why thinking that you're younger, acting like you're younger, refusing to feel aged and labelled by stereotypes actually makes you have a longer life. It literally affects your genetic DNA. So the telomeres, which are very much responsible for protecting our DNA, they get smaller and kind of fray as we get older. If you think younger, act younger, and don't believe that you're constricted and constrained by your chronology, you live longer and they stay longer. So it's not just about the way that we think and feel as far as, well, it's acceptable now to be young forever, like Nicole Kidman. It's actually genetically, statistically and scientifically correct to say, if you think that way and feel that way and act that way, you'll be that way. So yeah, it's changed a lot. We no longer believe what we're told about our gender and our chronology.
This is music to my ears, probably the greatest thing I'm going to hear this decade, let alone today. So thank you for that. You've reassured me enormously. But do you think we run a risk as a society where we still have this view that a woman, when she hits 40, is, all a bit past it, whereas a man is in his prime of his life? Do you think society, we still have a problem with the perception of ages between the genders?
There is definitely an absolute frustration that men get called silver fox, isn't there, where women get called a completely different set of names. But I think that we're reclaiming it more and more and more. I think that the thing is, we've got a historical reasoning behind why men get given those kind of titles, because there's a permission base, therefore, for relationships, for example. So a 25-year-old going out with a 55-year-old silver fox, that's seen as okay. If it's a female doing it, she's a cougar and a predator, basically. And that's kind of something that's being left behind as time goes by, but there's certainly that stink still of those stereotypes. But for me, I think it's more about women unashamedly, unapologetically just accepting that no one has a right to tell them or dictate to them whether they are visible or invisible. And I think there's a huge amount of work that's gone in. And even though the media gets quite a lot of negativity, and obviously we share very similar views as well about the way that a lot of women are portrayed in the media, also they've done a great deal to keep people who were in their 50s, 60s and 70s highly visible in things like acting and modelling. Now, that is brand new, realistically. We see the wonder models of the years gone by, the supermodels of the 80s, they're still present and very much at the top of their game. We see the actresses that when I was a child were basically coming up through the ranks. They're still as visible, if not more so now. So I think that we've all started to accept that the great thing about women and men, but let's concentrate on women for a while. Women are incredibly multifaceted. We have got incredible longevity. We're wise. We become people who've got reason that we didn't have when we were young people. We haven't got the insecurities of young people. And that's good. Young people are meant to have those. It's how you get to know who you are. But you get this very solid professional who's gone through a whole heap of changes, ranks through careers, become mothers and grown through it to the empty nest situation and are still vital. So for me, I think that apart from the science, which is keep thinking young, don't believe your stereotypes, keep doing all the things that you can do till you're 100, it will keep you young. That's on one level really positive. But the other is, I think that women have realised that the only people that can really hold you back is you. You might have to shout louder, You might have to work harder still, but if you're willing to do that, then in the end, you undoubtedly will succeed on all levels, both age-wise, career-wise, and everything you want to achieve-wise.
There you go, girls, women, ladies, men folk, all of you out there, listen to Emma Kenny, think positively, think young and stay youthful. What fantastic advice as we begin on 2022. I mean, it's been a miserable couple of years, hasn't it? So let's turn it all around. Emma, thank you so much for joining us.